Hello, hello. It is Tuesday. I hope your week is off to a great start. We are on day 2 of Fuck Fear. And today we're going to talk about just some techniques you can use to help alleviate fear, minimize it, help release anxiety, all that good stuff. So just a couple of quick tips. We all have fears and anxieties, right? I mean, there's just something for everyone. So these two things that we're going to talk about today work for everyone. And it's really important to talk to your kids about it, talk to your grandkids about it, talk to the people you love about using these techniques to help calm you down, to help get you a little inner peace, to help just relax, right? So the first thing is take a time out. When things feel really heavy or you're in an emotional extreme, if you can take a time out and take a break from things, it helps a ton. So whether that's going outside and taking a walk, whether that's going and exercising, whether it's taking a bath, whether it's reading part of a book, whatever that looks like to you, do it. Take a little bit of time because you can't think clearly when you're in a mindset of fight or flight, fear, the what if game. You just can't think clearly. So spend some time doing that. The other thing you can do is to do a breathing exercise. And I always thought this was like, oh yeah, that really doesn't work. I'm here to tell you it absolutely works. So couple of things. We're going to make it really simple, but this technique helps to reduce stress, anxiety, panic attacks, fear, and it can be done in just a few minutes. It can be done wherever you are. Super important to know that. Want more benefit from it? Then build it into your habits, build it into your lifestyle. I started doing this before going to bed so I could put my mind at ease. That tends to be where my thoughts get really rumbled up, is looking over the day or looking at the future or thinking about what I have to do tomorrow. Those are the types of things where I would get really ramped up. So this was very beneficial to me. I take a few minutes during the day and do it while I'm sitting at my desk or while I'm sitting in traffic, because you know how that can be. So just spend a little time. You can do it sitting up, lying down, standing up, just wherever you are. Make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. If you're lying down, place your arms a little bit to the side of you with your palms up. And you can either put your feet flat on the ground so you have grounded, whether you're seated or lying down, have your feet on the ground. And start to just let your breathing flow. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But it took me a while to figure out belly breathing, and that's eventually what we're going to get to. But you're just going to breathe in and out, like breathe into the count of 5. And then let it go for the count of 5. So you just want to do that and be aware of your breathing, be aware of your breath. And then as you get better at it and more relaxed, you want to breathe it in. You want to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and you want to get down where you feel it in your belly. So you want to feel your diaphragm expand. You want to feel that. And then when you let it go, you want to push all that air out. And then you're going to take another deep breath and do it again. And you can put your hand on your tummy so you can feel it. And it's super helpful to be able to feel it in and out. So what this does is it starts to relax you. It starts to clear your head. And it's super powerful. Like I said, I used to think breathing, like my Apple Watch tells me to breathe. I tell it to shut up all the time, but really take some time to take those deep breaths in and deep breaths out. I'm so sorry. I don't know what is with me and the yawning all of a sudden. Some people, like I said, count in 5. If you're a counter and that makes it easier for you, do that. And then don't hold your breath at the top, but then gently, slowly release it. Okay. So you want to keep doing this for 3 to 5 minutes if you can. It's usually enough to relax you. But it's just paying attention to your breathing in and out. If you're a runner, one of the things I learned to do The only thing I learned to do when I started a how to run group was your breathing. And so that's still one of the things when I'm out walking. I don't jog anymore, but when I was out, I would count in my breaths and count them out. And it helped me get a rhythm. Well, this helps you get the rhythm of life, right? It helps you know how to calm down. That's the first thing that is so powerful. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. The next thing is face your fears, right? Avoidance makes things scarier, bigger, and larger than what they actually are. Our brains can make up all kinds of shit as to what's going on and what can happen and what if and blah, 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 right? So when you're laying in bed at night and you've got stuff floating through your head, you can come up with some pretty crazy things. And so if you deal with it head on, tell someone, ask for help, look for support, like whatever it is that's got you, look for people that maybe have been in the same circumstance and overcome it, or have worked through the same fear, whatever that looks like. It'll help you to create a network of people around you. And then it's no longer avoiding, it's like now spread out, right? So do that first of all. It's really scary going alone because, like I said, your brain makes up all kinds of things. All kinds of things. The next thing is to imagine the worst thing that can happen, right? I always tell my kids, just imagine the worst thing that can happen. So what is the worst thing that can happen? What if you faced your fears because you knew you could handle the worst, right? Sometimes we get so and think logically about what the worst things that can happen be. The statistics on the worst things happening are pretty slim, right? Pretty small. And we make up much more in our head than what's actually going to happen. So if you are someone who's like, okay, I'm in love with someone and I've never told them. What happens if you tell them? What's the worst thing? They don't love you back? Can you deal with that? Yes, you might be crushed, but can you deal with that? If you quit your job to go and pursue your business, or you leave your job to go to another job, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? In my mind, the worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to hate that freaking job and feel like an idiot for leaving my other job. Oh, that I didn't like either, because if you loved your job, you would not be looking for a new job. So what's the worst case scenario? You're going to have to find another job. Right? If you hate the job, you're going to have to go find another one. Now, I'm a firm believer that if you want to grow your small business, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to excel at that, you need to absolutely go for it. But I do not recommend quitting a 9-to-5 job and starting to pursue your own business right out of the gate. It's too much pressure. I feel like that's too much pressure to put on yourself. So if you can do them simultaneously until your entrepreneurial job is making you as much money, if not more, consistently as your full-time job, then you can quit, right? And it's okay to stay at something you don't necessarily love for the short term in order to get other things off the ground. So be thinking about that. Let's say you want to move across the country or out of the country. You're like, hey, I'm bored with where I'm at. I want to pick up and move. I want to go try something new. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to get someplace and be like, I really don't like this place. I don't like it at all. So you move back, right? You move back to what you know, to where you're comfortable, or you move on to someplace else. You do not, making a decision doesn't mean it's the decision forever and ever and ever. Okay? There's very few things that I think are decisions forever. Let's say you want to offer your product or services to someone and you're afraid, of what they might think, what they might say, how they might treat you. Will you offend them? All the things that go through your head. Okay, what happens if you offer it and they tell you no, or they don't say anything at all? They never open the message. Or, like I said, they say absolutely nothing. What's the worst thing that happens? You feel a little foolish, right? But it's no big deal. It's not that make or break type of thing. So we get into our heads about it because sure, we don't want people not mad at us, but irritated or whatever. but it shouldn't stop us from doing those things. I will say, I do believe there's very specific ways to approach people about your products or services. I have a post going out later tonight that talks about I've been in MLMs for, you guys know this, for 30 years. And recently my uplines from previous companies have started reaching out to me. And they've been in really like gross messages, like they struck me the wrong way, because these people have known me for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And there was nothing personal about them. It was like a copy and paste message. It was something that was, quick, sweet. Hey, are you ready to get started again? Is there any reason why we can't get you started again? What can we do to help you get started again? It was nothing about me, nothing about what my wants might be or what my needs might be, but it was all about, hey, can we get you started again? So I really want to caution you on some of those messages, not in sending them, but in your approach. So on my post tonight, it'll talk about, like, first of all, don't be a weirdo. Don't be weird when you do it. Like, be a person, be a human. Talk to them like a human. Talk to them like you would pick up the phone and talk to them. Okay? That, I think we get really, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I hate to be on the phone. Hate it. But I will tell you that that's how you can take some weirdness out of it. When people can hear your voice inflection, when they can talk to you, when you can respond back and you can have a conversation back and forth. So just think about those types of things. So you need to work on breathing techniques. I want you to try it. I want to know how it works for you. For me, it's been huge. And then I want you to face your fears head on. Last of all, look for proof. Look for proof. When your fears pop up, look for the proof around you. Has any of these things ever happened recently? Like the things that you're afraid of, whatever that may be for you. As you look around, has it happened recently? Did it happen to someone you know? What happened to that person? Look for proof that those fears are real. Okay? We need to get rational about the irrational, because we do carry along a lot of irrational fears that just really don't make sense. And that's just crap that's in our head that's telling us, oh, we need to be fearful. We need to be mindful. We need to be worried about this or that. Those are the types of things that I want you to focus on. All right. Tomorrow we are going to talk about perfectionism. We're going to talk about beating perfectionism, stopping perfectionism, because that's a fear in its highest form. And then on Thursday, we are going to talk about, tomorrow's a long one. Nope. I've got my notes typed up here, but I was trying to see. No, I didn't lie to you. Yeah, we're going to talk about beating perfectionism, signs of perfectionism, tendencies, how to become aware. That may take up 2 days. So anyway, we're going to overcome the fear of failure too. So that's what I have going on for you the next couple of days. I appreciate you being here. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll talk then. Bye-bye.